Good afternoon, folks. Big Bo here with another great Class C motorhome value from Parkway RV Center. Folks, it seems like it's been forever since I've done a video on a Class C, and the reason for that is they are just so scarce right now. Class A's, we've been buying them and selling them like crazy, but Class C's have just about been impossible to find. It seems like we're buying 10 Class A's to every C class we can find. And I'm going to tell you, folks, this one right here, if you're in the market for a pre-owned one that looks like new, you're not going to beat this one for the money and the price. 2004 Winnebago Minnie 31C with a slide. Only 10,999 miles. Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, we'll say 11,000 miles. In absolutely like new condition. Ford V-10, 6.8 liter Triton V-10, 305 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque. We just drove this motorhome in 400 miles. It does just immaculate. And of course, this is a Winnebago. This is pretty much top of the line when you get into the Class C motorhomes. I've owned 2 Winnebagos myself. I'm very, very familiar. I've been up to, of course, to their factory up in Iowa and been to the factory tour. Really, really impressive. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Winnebago actually builds 80% of their own parts on this RV instead of buying all aftermarket parts like other brands. So you look at these cheaper Coachmans and these 4Winds and stuff like that, it's all aftermarket part, but a Winnebago, just about everything on here is built by Winnebago. They even have their own aluminum and frame shop because they weren't happy with the quality of the frames they were getting from their vendors. So they're the only motorhome manufacturer that actually builds their own frames. Ford 450 chassis, 11,000 miles, folks. 4 kW Onan generator, 172 hours. I've got the generator running, the motor running, powering everything on here. I mean, folks, all this thing needs is for you to jump in it, crank it up, and drive it anywhere in the country right off the lot. This is a great looking RV. It's a Winnebago. It's got a no maintenance fiberglass roof. That's the only Class C on the market that has a standard fiberglass roof. So you don't have to go up there and seal it and condition it every year and have it serviced like you do a rubber roof. That's no maintenance. You just wash it, forget it. Awning looks like brand new. Of course, we're going to show you all that works. It's got a full basement. Like I said, that 4 kW generator just humming along. It's got the power stabilizer jacks on the back. And folks, I'm going to tell you, this is a great looking motorhome. I look for this thing to sell in the next day or two. How many 2004 models do you see with 11,000 miles, 170 hours on the generator in this kind of condition for under $40,000 with a slide? Nobody else has got one like this, folks. It wouldn't surprise me if this was the lowest mileage 2004 on the market today. Everything works. It's not been a live-in unit, and that's major too, because a lot of the low mileage motorhomes you look at, people have used for live-in units, and they're completely wore out on the interior, even though it doesn't have many miles on the motorhome. You want to stay away from those, folks, because these things aren't really designed for long-term use, and when somebody lives in one, it really wears them out quick. This particular one, folks, I mean, it's just nice. Everything's original. We step inside here. I'm gonna tell you, it's they just don't come any nicer or cleaner for a 2004. Got a lot of upgrades too. You know, it's got a King Dome satellite system. When's the last time you seen a Class C with that? That's about a $3,000 system that this has already. We're going to start up here in the front. Of course, you know, 11,000 miles. You don't expect any wear and tear on the seats, and it doesn't have it. Let me see if you can zoom in on the odometer right there. Well, 10,999 miles. Ice cold dash air. And I know it's getting fall time. It's cooling off. It's really unseasonably warm today. It's that time of year where it's 50 degrees one day and 75 the next, and it's about 70 degrees outside. So I've got the airs running. Look at that, folks. Sitting here at idle, we're blowing 25. Well, it depends on where exactly you hit it with the laser at, but it's showing 25, 27, 29 degrees out of the dash. That's cold. Heated power mirrors, power door locks. It's got the battery boost to tilt and cruise. The dash looks great. You can tell this motorhome's been covered up. This thing hasn't been outside exposed to the elements. Like I said, we drove it 400 miles in, and I'm talking about, driver said it did great. Cab over looks great. It's got a queen bed in the cab over if you need it. And of course, these mattresses fold out into a queen, or you can store them like that. It's got the bunk ladder. The carpet, linoleum, looks great. And that's how you can tell if it's been a live-in or not, by the upholstery, the carpet, and linoleum. I mean, if they've been lived in, everything's worn out. But this one's not been a live-in unit. It looks great. It's got that really nice carpeted headliner. And this is a true crowned roof. You know, Winnebago's known for the quality of their roof systems. I mean, and to do the punch test is what I call it on a Winnebago. That whole roof, you can look at the vents, the lights, they don't move. And I'm punching that thing hard. You do that with a Coachman or Four Winds or some of these Forest River products, the light lens will fall out of the light. But not on a Winnebago. These are solid roofs, all fiberglass, nothing to worry about. That's why you see Winnebagos that are 35, 40 years old still running the roads today, because they built these to last. Granted, this costs a lot more new than these cheaper models, but you get what you paid for. Anytime you buy a used RV, stay away from the cheaper made ones, the cheaper quality ones. Get a better quality one, because it's going to hold up better than anything else. And if you'll notice on my website, we only carry the nicer brands like Winnebago, Monaco, Holiday Rambler, Newmar. You know, just the brands that people know, they trust, Gatasca. You know, brands that really hold up, because you see, we don't look at these when they're new. We look at them when they're 10 or 12 years old. And it seems like the ones that are 2004, these cheaper brands are falling to pieces. But you can look at a Winnebago or a Holiday or a Newmar, and they look just as nice as a new one. That's because they're built better. They cost you more, but you get what you paid for. And you want something that you can trust your family in to go on a cross-country trip without having to worry about breaking down, without having to worry about leak damage and things like that. So that's why you always go with a really good brand like a Winnebago. You can't go wrong. This particular unit, folks, 11,000 miles. It sleeps up to 8 people. The couch makes a bed. Table booth makes a bed. Look at the original window sticker right here. You know, you can go out and buy a cheaper grade one of these, or not a Winnebago, but like a Four Winds for around 60 grand new with a slide out. This thing was $76,000, and that's in 2004 prices. Not today's prices, quite a bit more today. But I promise you, folks, you can compare this to that 2004 Four Winds or a Coachman. This thing looks built and looks 3 times better than they look like now. That's just the benefit of really buying a good brand, getting your money's worth. You know, it's like going out and buying tools. I mean, you go to the dollar store, buy a dollar ratchet, and you go and buy a top-of-the-line Craftsman ratchet. Which one do you think is going to hold up better? Of course, the more expensive Craftsman will, while the dollar store breaks the first time you use it. And it's kind of the same idea with a RV. You want to buy a nicer brand that's going to hold up. It's going to provide your family with a lot more happy RV memories instead of having to drop it off at the RV dealer all the time for repairs. Really nice side kitchen, folks. Double basin sink, stovetop and oven, microwave. It's got the Kingdom satellite. Of course, it's got the older style TV, which, you know, I kind of like that, because, you know, you can change out the HD TV, and we'll be happy to do it if you want us to. But you're never going to find an HD TV that's going to fill the hole like this older style CTV will, because these are square, and of course the newer TVs are rectangular. Right here's the generator hours, folks. 130 hours. It's got the holding tank heater, so if you want to use this for wintertime camping, you can. Stovetop, oven, I mean, everything looks like it's never been used. It's just got 11,000 miles. The roof air's ice cold. Let me show you that real quick. I mean, wow. Of course, I know it's not 95 degrees outside, but it's still in the close to 70, and we're blowing below freezing out of the roof vents, and that's pretty impressive. I don't think keeping this thing cool is going to be a problem. Got the Norcold two-way RV refrigerator freezer that works great. Now, I haven't had it on long enough probably to get cold, so I don't know. It's starting to cool. I mean, we're going to guarantee this to work. You know, when you buy an RV from us, my RV techs, some with 20 years plus experience, are going to take this thing and completely go through it front to back and show you everything works. And it is getting cool in the back. It just takes these things a few hours to get to operating temp. But folks, I guarantee you this thing works on gas and electric. I guarantee the air to work, all the appliances, plumbing, electrical, everything, folks. My RV techs go through this thing top to bottom. Takes us a few days, but I promise you, when you pick this RV up, we're going to give you a complete demonstration. You're going to see that everything works down to every last little light bulb. That's the way we've been doing it for 47 years, folks. We're going to step back toward the bedroom. You've got a walk-through bathroom. You've got the upgrade glass shower door. Open this up. It's clean. Got a skylight up top there. It looks great. Of course, we're not exactly level where we're parked at, so these doors don't really work right unless you're level, but that way they don't come open when you're driving down the road. Private water closet. You've got the RV toilet. Medicine, got a little cabinet up there. You've got a vanity area, sink, vent fan. Of course, you've got duct work in here for your air. This unit's got ducted DSI furnace. You know, these Winnebagos are just so well insulated. I mean, they're one of the best insulated Class C's on the market. And you've got those tank heaters too, so you know, I love winter camping. That's most of the time I go. I love it. And this one right here is equipped for it. So if you like to go winter camping when it's not hot outside, this is a great unit for you. Queen Island bed in the back. I mean, look at all the original bedding in it. It looks like brand new. All the day-night shades. You know, seems like normally every one of these you look at, there's always one or two of the day-night shades that's broke or messed up that we have to fix. This one doesn't have any of them that are broke. I mean, just extremely well-built, well-maintained motorhome. Notice around the vents, notice they've kept the filters changed, because if you don't change the filters on these, especially with this really bright white carpet headliner, you're going to see black around the vents. That way you know it's not been kept clean, it's not been maintained, they haven't kept the filters clean. But this one right here, it's as bright and white as a new one. You can tell they haven't ran the air conditioner without filters in it or with a dirty filter in it. You got a place for a TV up here if you want one. You know, this unit sleeps 8, 2 up top, 2 on the couch, 2 on the table, and 2 in the back. And with this big slide out, you get a lot of room in here. You know, Winnebago even has their own slide system. They're not like everybody else and buy them from Power Gear or Lippert Components. They design and build their own slide out system. And what you can get from that is simple. If you ever need a part for a Winnebago, it doesn't matter if your Winnebago's 25, 30 years old. Chances are they can sell you that part. Now, you try to do that with another brand. Once they get over 6 or 7 years old, the manufacturer quits stocking the parts for that year model, and you just cannot find them. But Winnebago, you don't have that problem, because like I said, 80% of everything in here is built by Winnebago. Even the furniture, the stitching is done by Winnebago. The cabinets are solid wood glazed cabinets. They're built by Winnebago. The frame's built by Winnebago. The flooring system's built by Winnebago. I mean, you're never going to have a problem getting parts for this. You know, Winnebago, when I went at Forest City, Iowa, when I went through the factory tour, that's why I decided to buy a Winnebago myself, and I'm on my second one now. The guy giving the tour told us that, you know, Winnebago is different from other manufacturers. They actually build RVs, not just assemble them out of aftermarket parts like everybody else does. And that's true. I mean, you're really getting a brand that's going to hold up. Don't believe me? Just look at the older motorhomes you pass next time you drive down the interstate. Look at them that are 25, 30 years old, and most of them's going to be Winnebagos, because they are built to last. They cost a little bit more when you buy them, but you definitely get what you paid for. Folks, this unit with 11,000 miles is only $37,900. That's under book value with the mileage and the options. We have up to 180-month financing available if you need it. And even if you just want a short-term finance loan, we can get you 60 months at an interest rate as low as 2.5% with approved credit. And folks, I'm going to tell you, this is one that's going to fly off the lot, because where else do you see a 11,000 mile motorhome for $37,900 with a slide in this kind of condition? And granted, there are some low mileage motorhomes out there, but they're mostly live-in units. And if you go back, remember what I said, those are worn out on the inside. You definitely don't want a live-in unit. This has not been a live-in unit. It's just in immaculate condition. The interior, the exterior, everything matches what 11,000 mile motorhome should look like, and that's like brand new. Call us today at 706-965-7929. Evenings and Sundays, you can get sales help at 423-605-6747. And don't be afraid to call us, folks. We're totally different than any RV dealership you've ever dealt with before. 47 years family owned and operated should tell you something right there. Selling over 500 used RVs a year, that should tell you what kind of business we run. I don't have commissioned salespeople. That's huge for those of you who have been looking at RVs. Nothing's worse than going to these lots, getting these high-pressure commissioned salespeople. It ruins the buying experience. You can't just get out and look without going through a sales office, getting pre-approved, having a salesperson follow you around trying to sell you something. That's not how you buy RVs, folks. And let me tell you why we don't use commissioned salespeople. Well, first of all, we've got the lowest prices in the country, so there's really no selling involved. But the other RV dealerships, especially the bigger ones, use commissioned salespeople because they don't have to pay them by the hour. They don't have to pay them salary. They just pay them when they sell something. This way they can afford to keep 25, 30, 40 salespeople on staff at any given time, because they don't have to pay them anything unless they produce. So that means the salesperson you're assigned to, you may be the only person they talk to that week. And the worst thing they can hear you say is you're just looking, or you're going to buy in a few weeks or a few months, or they don't want to hear that, because they want you to buy from them that day, because they don't want you to come back and buy from somebody else or go to another RV dealership, because they make zilch when that happens. Well, folks, another bad thing about it is the average commission rate for a used RV salesman is 25% of the gross profit the dealership makes. If you think about that for a minute, that means that salesperson's not watching out for your benefit. They're not watching out for this dealership's benefit. They're watching out for their own benefit, because the more profit they make on the deal, the bigger their check is. So that means if you come look at one that's on sale that they don't have much markup in, they're going to do their best to talk you into another one that they traded for, they have a huge markup in, even if it's not the one you want, simply because they're going to make more money on that. When it's time to do a deal, they're going to want to steal your trade in if you're trading, because every $1,000 that they were able to trade for your trade in underneath market value, that's $250 in their pocket. So of course they're going to lowball your trade in. When it comes to negotiate price, they're not interested in it, folks, because like I said, every dollar they come off the price is 25 cents less in their pocket. Plus, they're going to put the high pressure on you. They're going to have one of their buddies to turn you over to that's also going to put the high pressure on you. You know, these guys are pros. These big RV dealerships actually hire psychologists, sales experts to come in several times a year to give seminars on how to work people, how to maximize your profit. Folks, I've seen it with my own eyes, and that's not how you buy used RVs, folks. I don't believe in it. We never have used commissioned salespeople. We've been in business for almost half a century. I don't have 40 or 50 salespeople. I have 5, and they're all on salary only. This way, they work for you, because they don't give a flip whether you buy it or not, folks, because they get paid the same every week. Doesn't matter what we sell, how much we sell it for, even if you buy it from us or somebody else. They get paid exactly the same. This way, they're strictly here to answer your questions, arrange financing, appraise your trade-in, and arrange delivery or a pickup. That's what they're paid to do, folks. You can check our prices with any other RV dealership in the United States. We beat their price by thousands, not only on price, but the fact that we have lower mileage RVs, cleaner RVs. And the reason behind that, folks, when you've been in business almost 50 years, you know where to get the good ones at before the big boys get them. We don't have their overhead, so of course we have less markup. Sure, we don't make as much money on these RVs per se per sale as other ones do, but you know, we learned a long time ago that if you sell in high volume, you can sell a better buy in a motorhome, and your customers love it because they save thousands. And granted, we don't make as much. My grandfather started this place in '68, and one of his favorite sayings was, you make your dollar with 10 dimes instead of 4 quarters. We have to sell 10 RVs to make what the other dealers make on 4 of them, but we sell them cheaper, so we sell them faster, and it just all works out in the end. And plus, you get a better buy. You don't have to deal with those commission salespeople. I don't have finance managers. That's huge. That's a huge benefit, because 80-90% of you are going to finance this RV. That's just a fact of life. That's the way it is, folks. This is a huge investment, and let me tell you the way these other RV dealers have learned to exploit people on financing. They have finance managers, and just like a salesperson, a commissioned salesperson, finance managers don't get paid by the hour. They don't get paid salary. They get paid a percentage of whatever they can mark the interest rate up and get away with it. And just like the salespeople, these dealerships hire experts to come in, give seminars to the what they call the F&I guy or the finance manager, to maximize profits from every dealer. And I'm just going to throw out numbers for an example. We get you approved at 60 months on 2.5%. So can they. What they never discuss interest rates with you. If you talk to the salesperson, 2 things they hesitate to discuss is price and interest rate on the phone, because once they quote you one of those 2 or both those things, you're pretty much locked in, and it's hard for the finance manager to make extra money when you've already got a rate in mind that you were told that you can expect to pay. So that's why they don't tell you interest rate. But what they do is they'll get you approved at 2.5%. Finance manager come in there, do his little sales pitch, his little introduction, say, congratulations, Mr. Customer, I got you approved, 6.5% interest, sign here, here, and here, and it's yours. You think that's not a bad deal for a 04 model motorhome. You sign up, you just overpaid by thousands, folks. They just made thousands of dollars off of you because the banks let them keep the difference in the interest rate. And when you look at $38,000, 4 or 5% in interest rate over a long-term loan is thousands of dollars in higher RV payments than you would have paid if you just bought it from Parkway RV Center. I don't have finance managers. I believe in offering financing as a courtesy to our customers, not as a way to make money or exploit them like other RV dealerships do. I get several buyers done a week at 2.5%. If you need 180 months, you've got great credit. I'd probably get you done around 4 to 5%. Of course, all the financings with approved credit. I've got nationwide warranties we can sell you at dealer cost. If you want delivery, folks, I deliver RVs all over the United States. Remember, I said I sell 500 plus a year, and that's no lie, folks. I've got 5 full-time drivers on the road, all 5 on the road right now delivering RVs all over the country, and we only charge you whatever it costs us to bring it to you. In other words, if it costs us $800 to bring it 1,500 miles, that's exactly what we charge you, folks. We make no profit on delivery. And also, folks, we have no extra fees. You know, these other RV dealerships are going to charge you thousands more. They're going to make thousands of dollars on the financing off of you. And then they're going to charge you up to $2,000 in dock fees, prep fees, dealer fees, customer fees, processing fees, tag and title fees. All those fees are 100% dealer profit, folks. They're rip-off fees. At Parkway RV Center, we have no extra fees, the lowest prices on the internet, the nicest RVs, no dealer interest rate markup, and no commission salespeople. Folks, I've gave you all the reasons in the world to buy from us, but the number one reason is that we save you money. 706-965-7929 is our office phone number. After hour sales, you can call 423-605-6747. Visit our website, parkwayrvcenter.com. You can email us with sales questions at sales@parkwayrvcenter.com. We're a certified power seller on eBay. We're the only RV dealer selling RVs that is a power seller. That means we have hundreds of positive feedbacks selling used motorhomes and used campers on eBay. Folks, I'm going to tell you, where we can save you so much money, it's not even a joke. So if you don't call us, folks, and you buy from somewhere else, you just lost thousands of dollars in savings. Now, folks, I strongly recommend you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got over 2 million video views, 1,700 views. I try to educate you in every way I can about the way other dealers operate, about the manufacturers, how they build them. I've got over 20 years of experience, and I know a lot of you out there are new to this RV thing. You've got nobody really to talk to. You can talk to an RV salesman at an RV dealership. They don't know. They just hire people off the street, stick them behind a computer for a few hours, call them RV experts. And you just have questions, and you don't have to deal with somebody trying to sell you something. Well, folks, I have so many people a day email me, and I'll give you my personal email address. So if you have questions, comments, suggestions, if you've got questions about a brand, or you've got questions about how one's built, or about this part about the RV lifestyle or that part, I've owned several RVs. I've got over 100,000 miles logged in, delivering RVs all over the country. I've been working on these things myself since I was a teenager, and you know, I know more than a lot of RV techs do about how these are built and how to work on them. And if you just have general questions about RVs, I mean, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not in sales. I have salespeople for that. But if you just have a question, you just want to email me, my email is B-O at parkway-rv-center.com, and you can email me anytime. You know, I like to answer the emails in the evenings after I get home, and I'll be happy to give you an honest answer to any question you might have about the RV lifestyle, or about a particular brand, or a particular one you're looking at, even if it's not at our dealership, even if it's at another RV dealership. I'll give you my honest opinion about what I think the RV is and the condition of it, if it's a good buy or not. So folks, like again, it's Bo at parkway-rv-center.com. If you have just general sales questions, you can email sales at parkway-rv-center.com, or call 706-965-7929. And evenings and Sundays, 423-605-6747. Well, folks, I'm going to tell you, let me see if this fridge is working any better now. Look at that, folks. It's dropped 14 degrees since I put the thermometer in here earlier. So right there shows you that the freezer does work, the refrigerator does work, because it was showing 54 degrees.